special guest. And so I got a little intro, like I made it up when I was watching TV. Chopping it up with who? Chopping it up with you.
Hey.
Chopping it up with me. Chopping it up on three, two, one. Hey guys! So I got Tone the Bar.
What up? Look at Chop Chop with the bars. What was that?
Was it really?
That's bars.
I mean, I'm around you guys enough, so
Picked up on a little something. I like
feel,
it.
you know,
I
a
like
little bit.
That's cool. That's cool. What
OMG.
up?
I swear I got the coolest freaking dude in my freaking the seat right now, for real.
Thank you.
So the podcast is more conversational. So I want to talk about like this podcast pretty much is full circle. Everything you literally say and all the TNT, all the T1 podcast is all like rounds up to full circle.
Yeah.
And this podcast right here, this episode right here is the freaking definition.
100%. And
Of
that's
full
what
circle.
life is. It is the circle of life. I learned that
It's
watching The Lion King.
circle of life.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
It's like freaking exciting. Like, I can't believe it because I'm just like literally imagining this whole year. So, in our podcast we did when we did it literally last year, and that'd be freaking hilarious if it was the same day. If I find out it's the same day, that'd be funny.
It's
Even the
definitely
same
pretty
week.
close.
It is, right? Like when
This
we
is
did
crazy.
it. Man.
Yeah, it's been about a year since what you run out. The cute little Mexican girl came out. Introduced herself to me, my brother and sister after a night at Unimpaired. We were guest host on a karaoke.
Yes, shout out
battle.
to Brian.
Yeah,
Let's get
shout
it.
out Brian Hugh.
You know whose
And,
voice that is?
Skelly's,
get
right?
it.
Who
Let's
is that?
get it.
Damn,
Who
that's
talks
loud.
like that?
Let's get it.
Drea.
Oh, okay. I hear it. I was like, that's rapper voice, but I can hear Kelly doing that being funny.
Probably. Sorry. Continue.
But yeah, so yeah, we met at Unimpaired. At the time I was unimpaired. Today, I'm going to sip my, my Reds.
Yes.
I had a couple interviews this week. I will not get to have my favorite beverage, so we're gonna be relaxed on this one if you don't mind.
That's perfectly fine. I literally said when I was doing his hair, because I did his hair before we, started. And I was like, you going to have a drink? He's like, are you making fun of me? Or what'd you say? Am I
don't know.
judging?
Are you judging?
Never. I'm like, no, I want you to go get it if you want to get your drink,
Yeah. I was just actually on the ride here, I was explaining to my uncle, like, at some point I am going to kick drinking, like, all the way. But right now, it's just, like, the way that my brain works, I don't know if it's just different from everybody. Like, a lot of people, like, smoke weed or cigarettes or something like that to probably calm these voices that they have in their
Right.
head. And, like, I've got nothing. There's no off switch. Like, literally, in my
No.
dream, I'm writing business plans, songs, and
For real.
preparing for the next day, except if I have a drink that just chills me out. That's what calms down the voices. Like, it's
Literally.
it's a little crazy, but I actually, I've talked about it in my music. I look at it as a superpower. It's how I get so much done. It is anxiety,
real.
and it is it's just everything everywhere
ADHD.
all at once. I've got to do 8 million things a day, and I don't feel satisfied unless I'm working on something. So,
Right.
for now, my answer has been drinks. I've tried other stuff, and other stuff just make me weird. So
Right, it's even worse.
yeah.
Same,
Yeah,
'cause
like
I've tried-
amplifies. But a nice little Reds Wicked Apple or a couple shots of Casa Amor tequila.
Ooh, Casa Amor.
Those can keep me where I'm productive, but I'm more relaxed. It's
Right.
not. It slows my my thought process down to I feel like a reasonable level where I can be productive, but also be chill.
That is so freaking true. We've done so many shows. Like, hence what he just said, how we just skipped to a bunch of different, like, topics all at once. Because that's how it is. He's literally speaking and acting of how he's so busy. That's why he's so busy, because his mind is on 100. That's how literally I
It's on
feel.
1,000. Like, it don't stop. Like, it's crazy how
Don't
many
stop,
things.
won't stop.
Yeah, can't stop, won't stop. But it's crazy how many things I'll have in the works in a day. Like, and it's you know, I don't know if it's healthy, unhealthy. I don't know what it is, but
I mean, look at everything we've done in this last year. So
we
I
gotta
would
talk
say,
about it. We should start from like the top. We should have wrote it down and got notes.
I know, right? No, but
we're gonna miss stuff.
This is what I want for this podcast because there's so much people who can relate.
Yeah.
And like this podcast, I want people to relate to literally everything. So it's like, it's kind of like your guys's, but like literally just getting deeper and letting it all go. And if it's freaking ADHD, well, hello.
Yeah.
We here.
Yep. And one, like, I mean, we're going to talk about a lot of dope things about you, but I'll go into one of my slogans that I'm like really sticking to lately. Like I'm getting to a point where I'm probably going to stop responding to as many texts and inquiries because the answer for everybody, and I got so many people like literally getting mad at me because I'm not giving them an opportunity.
Yeah.
And the answer that I always say is show up. Just show up.
Oh,
there's a million opportunities for what we do every day. All you got to do is show up. I don't, you know, and life happens, and I don't expect anybody to show up to everything. I can't even. I wasn't there on the show Friday. I can't show up to everything.
We did that
but
too.
you have to show up to something. I can't help you if you're not there, and if you're not shaking hands, and if you're not meeting people. What am I supposed to do? And then, oh, you didn't reach out to me. I have a full staff of like 10 people that I have to communicate that I can barely communicate with them every day, on top of my own family and own ambitions and personal life that I really don't have.
Babies.
Yes.
Like they're number one no matter what.
For adults to sit there and you didn't reach out to me. No, I didn't. I didn't call my daughter today. Like, what are you talking about? Like, reach out to you. You are an adult.
Oh my God.
And like every opportunity that I have to give is an opportunity that maybe I created, but you also have the ability to create an opportunity. You know, the slogan I try to say in every episode, and now it's starting to not be as lighthearted, is I used to say somebody should do something. I realized that I'm somebody. We're all somebody. So don't look at me to create your future and opportunity. Look in a mirror because you have the ability. And if people are going to continue to look at me to do it, then I'm failing as a human being. I want to inspire people to chase their dreams and create more opportunities. I can't do it for everybody.
Right. And that's wrong one. That one. That's a bomb drop right there because it's like, it's so freaking true. And see, that's why I feel like literally the universe put us all in the same place because I was always saying that. I grew up in, you know, in that mentality or like looking around me where a lot of people didn't make it nowhere. And I'm like, but I don't have to be that. I can make it somewhere. I'm going to do whatever I know to do and keep learning and learning. And then we just happen to freaking meet. And then, I don't even feel like we just happened. Like I don't know. And I chased you down.
Yeah, but like, obviously you can't do that with everybody. Like, and I'll even circle back to recently meeting Jayanna, and she's like, just sign me. I'm ready to work with you. I trust you. God put me here. I feel the energy. And that's very much how I am.
Right.
And like you felt that I was, you know, trustworthy enough to chase down and then invite you to a studio you've never seen and been to and like do right by you. And
I'm not gonna lie. When you come to around where we're at, I was like, it's kind of sketchy.
Well,
but
this whole industry is sketchy. And like, that's why I appreciate you so much. And that's why it's like my, I almost used a real estate word, which is like fiduciary, which means like, you know, it's your responsibility to treat people better than you would treat yourself. And that's how I am. Like it's my duty to show you that, you know, you can approach a black man, a single black man at that, and it doesn't have to be, well, what you on later? Like, you know, it can really just be business and respect, and we can work with each other and elevate each other without having to, you know, somebody cross the line or, you know, be disrespectful or even, you know, and it's there's people that I work with that there is an attraction, and it's still, I like the business that we're doing. I don't want to.
I just seen a quote that said that they're like, somebody told me once that if you like somebody enough, it's better to stay friends because I forgot what they said but it's like with being in this industry or with being so friendly at that, it's like, yeah, it makes sense because most of the time people will get in a relationship just because a little of attraction and then they're like not even together anymore and now they're not even friends.
Yeah.
I'm like, you messed it all up.
And that's funny too, because like you can definitely be attracted to people you don't even know that well. Yeah. And then when you get to know them, it's like, oh my God. Like yeah. But no, I appreciate like not only the bravery it took for you to approach us, but also I feel like I've earned the trust that you gave
hell
me.
yeah. Like right away.
Right.
Right away, like what, maybe
Yeah, what was the energy for you to
like when we first met, the
Yeah.
first meeting, it
Yeah.
was literally right here where I'm sitting right now. Full circle.
Mhm.
And
well, even
I
when
don't
you
know.
ran out, I'm sure we
nothing,
talked about it
I'm
last
like
year.
that. Yeah, no, we actually didn't talk about it on the podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, let's
So,
definitely talk about that.
How we met was I was working and I was freaking Brian Hugh, like he's my homie, like he's so dope to me. And he was throwing this karaoke contest. Shout out to Amelia, she just won. And Tone, like, so he had told me that Tevin was gonna judge, and I knew Tevin because Tevin had performed there before, but like before I worked there. And so I just had seen videos. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I was like, oh, bet. Like, I'm definitely going to connect because I already had my little card. Shout out to my sister. I already had my little, like, social media card. So whenever anybody would come into I actually met Cold Saint before I met you.
That's crazy.
He came in and I was like, here's my card. I don't know, maybe we could work. And we, like, chopped it up a little bit. Chopping it up. And, yeah, so I just did the same thing to you. Like, how I just ran up on everybody, to be honest. But you were already like almost gone. He was already out the door. And I'm like, guys, wait, I stopped making whatever I was making. I stopped making a drink and
Damn.
I ran outside. Yeah, I ran outside.
See, this is why you don't work there no more. No, I'm just playing. But now I'm curious though, because I'm big on like the universe and timing being everything. How long did you work at Unimpaired?
Like a year.
Okay, because I remember we did the show with Tevin at Unimpaired. So for you to not be working there then, but working there, during that contest, like, and then me being there that week, it's just divine
See, goes
intervention.
to show that
yeah,
I actually did gain good connections.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, everywhere you should be, you should be gaining a connection.
Dude.
I walk in coffee shops and meet CEOs and journalists and like people that I may have never encountered before. So I mean, it's great that you have that energy. So now,
that's why I say we're like the same.
But
we
since you
do
approach
that.
everybody with it, I remember at the beginning I had to tell you like, hey, kind of chill out on this person, and you're like, why? They're so nice. And I was like,
yeah.
some people won't have the same intentions that I have, and they aren't going to, and a lot of times, like, I don't know, it's weird. Like I the way I feel is like, if a guy shoots a shot, like that's human.
It's just whatever. Exactly.
Yeah, that
that's
doesn't
what I think.
always entail being offensive. It's when you turn them down and they keep going. That's when it's creepy.
Yeah.
So,
or like they find other ways, especially me being poly. They'll be like, "Oh, so does that mean like this and this and this?" Or like, "Are you sure?" Or like they keep questioning. And I'm like, "Bro, I said no."
Right. And I mean, obviously, not everybody understands what being poly is. So like, there's a level to inquire.
I explain it. So it's clear.
Yeah. She ain't looking for no wee-wee, y'all.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like you guys. Like the way that you see a woman is how I see a woman.
But then what about the guys that see you as the woman that you see other women as?
I'm sorry. I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that. Like, probably, sure.
God, I was actually just telling somebody like a couple days ago. I was like, I was trying to holler at this girl. Chapis was in the way. Like, move, girl. Like, do that shit elsewhere. Like, hold on. Let me get my time.
I think I know
normally
what you're
don't be
talking
on
about.
that, but now I'm on that and you in the way. Like, get your ass out of here, Chapis.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. We're going to have to talk about it off camera.
Right.
Damn.
That's too funny.
For real, though, because I be thinking, like, I never had friends to, like, have these situations with, like, same girl.
That's too funny.
I'm like, oh, shoot. Like,
that's too funny.
But for real, so going back to when we met, I was freaking geeked because I just found out about the Iowa Music Awards. I was like, what the hell? Like, Iowa does this? Like, there's actually like a rap scene out here. Like, I did not know. I literally thought I was like the only content creator in Iowa.
That's what it feels like sometimes.
Not
anymore.
Like when that's
but like
true.
we're building like a network.
That is true.
Like what we're working on as T1 is like creating an ecosystem, and like I talked about this, and like Bo James really put me on. So shout out to Bo James in Des Moines. But like making an Iowa music industry. Like there's content creators, but we've been scattered for years. We weren't working with each other. We weren't connecting. There was no reasons to come together. If you're a label and you got your following, you do your thing and you stay that way. You don't mingle. And my job is to mingle with everybody. Like I'm a little entertainment whore. I should have dropped the iPad.
I know even the iPad got excited.
But no, like even the R&B showcase, like we brought so many different talents. Like, Entree is with Launchpad Global out in Des Moines, which is like Bo James's label and hip hop and everything. But then we got Richie Uchiha that does his own events out in the Quad Cities, and we brought him. And then we bring everybody together that may have never met or shared a stage, and they may be good in their corner of the world or however big a piece they have of the world. But like that's my job is really creating opportunities for these people to be together, and so we all work together and create the best content we can and learn from each other.
For real. Like sometimes, Tone, I be feeling like we're the same person in different timelines. But I feel like that with a lot of people. Like if anybody believes in reincarnation, I literally feel like I've been here so many like times that like in this timeline, I've met so many different versions of me that just like overlapped into each other, like into timelines. And then I feel like so euphoric when I'm with these people that I'm like, yeah, they're just like a part of me, or like, you know, like freaking full circle. Me and Tone actually like lived in the same town when we were kids and we didn't even know each other.
Right. It's crazy.
Wild.
Are you talking about Washington?
Yeah.
Washington, Iowa is something else, dude. Like, I guess I have to, at some point, probably not this episode, I don't want to do too much about me, but like
that's what it is. You're a guest. You're a guest on my show. It's about you. It's about full circle, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think we spent like a year in Washington, Iowa, and yeah, I'll give you this content. I don't think I've given anybody else. So, when I was like up until I was like 8 or 9, we lived in Chicago. It was just the hood of the hood, really, really bad, really, really poor. The people out there were shitty people. Like the kids, the parents, the teachers, it was just not a good environment. And Iowa saved my life. But I didn't want to go to Iowa. Like it was my mom with the guy that she was with, my brother and sister's dad. He had connections out here. It was a smarter move. The cost of living and everything and job opportunities were abundant versus, you know, in Chicago, there's only one way to really live for a family like mine. So we moved to Washington, Iowa. And we lived there for a year, and you know, my sister was a baby. My mom was working a good job. We had a decent apartment, and a freaking tornado came to our town, and I think this was like '98. But a tornado,
it was 98.
Yeah, a tornado hit the town, and it was so crazy because I remember the day very vividly. Like it was an early out. My stepdad, he was going to pick up my mom, and we didn't know that it was an early out. I don't know if it was because of the weather they let us out early or what it was. But anyway, I see him leaving to go to Iowa City to pick up my mom as my school bus is dropping me off at the apartment. I wouldn't have been able to get in or anything. I wouldn't know what to do. And he luckily saw the school bus, turned around, picked me up. We go to Iowa City. The winds are horrible, like crazy. My dad I call him my dad, my brother's sister's dad, but he used to always stop at a friend's house, and they were probably like smoking or something, so everybody would wait in the car.
Right.
So he'd be in there forever. It'd be the most annoying thing ever. So he was in a friend's house for like an hour, and he said, "Hey, y'all need to come in here. It's serious." We didn't know. We thought somebody died. And we get in the house, and we're looking at the news, and it shows a tornado just hit Washington, Iowa. And we was like, is that our apartment? And it was. Like all our stuff, all our belongings scattered. And like, I would have straight up been dead.
For real.
Had he not seen the bus and not left at the exact time that he did. Like, I think he was even running late to pick her up.
Imagine.
So, yeah.
Wow. We wouldn't
imagine being dead.
No, I mean like.
I know.
We wouldn't have the Iowa Music Awards. Like we wouldn't have Met. So we're on live on YouTube, right? My sister's on. She says, "Hey, my mom's on." She said, "I'm from Chicago. That Iowa saved her life too." And they're both like, "I remember that tornado." Yeah,
that tornado destroyed our apartment, all our belongings, and it was just crazy that we were in Iowa City. And you know, if my dad didn't stay at that apartment extra long, or if he didn't see the school bus, I would have been like waiting outside the door for a couple hours,
so
and then
crazy.
I would have heard a tornado.
You would
I've
have
been
been
gone.
Dorothy.
Man,
Is that the right name? You would have been in Kansas.
That's hilarious. The land of Oz right now is where I'd be. So to get crazier, and I'll tell you the full point of this story at the end, but to get crazier. So at that point, we're homeless. We're living in a car. We've got nothing, but my mom at least has a job. So we're just staying somewhere in Iowa City in the parking lot, trailer park, something, just parked. And we eventually get a place in Iowa City. I get enrolled in school in Iowa City and everything. And about a year goes by there, and that place gets destroyed by a flood.
Wait, Lim, I just had to pause real quick. Lim said he wasn't coming back till Monday. Y'all are providing my entertainment tonight too.
Oh Lord, this guy.
But continue.
Shout out to Lim. So yeah, we moved to Iowa City and we lived there for a year, and then that place gets destroyed by a flood. My mom and stepdad are going through a breakup. He kept going to Cedar Rapids, probably seeing a woman, and all I heard about Cedar Rapids is bad stuff, people fighting, shooting, and it was way worse in Washington, Iowa City, and it sounds like a mini Chicago. So at this point, I'm getting used to Iowa. I don't want to go to Cedar Rapids. Like I basically told my mom, like, let me stay in Chicago if you're moving to Cedar Rapids. And she's like, we don't have anywhere to go. We've got to stay in a shelter in Cedar Rapids. And school's starting. And basically, I think she left the ball in my court, but I was also like 12. So so I ended up going to Cedar Rapids, living in the shelter. I don't know if it's still around. I think it's like Waypoint now, but it's like Madge Phillips Center or whatever. No,
I think it is Waypoint.
Yeah, Waypoint now then. But anyway, I end up staying at the shelter almost like a lot of my 6th grade year. I remember going to that shelter. I ended up getting like my first job at like a comic book store out here. And I had a couple friends during the summer, found out that they were going to McKinley. One of my first friends, shout out my boy Neil. He was somebody that I met before starting school.
Him.
My boys, man, I got a lot of them, but I had a lunch table full of guys I'll talk about at some point. But Ed and Kent Baker, those were my boys. Floyd McDaniel, just a bunch of people that I used to hang out with before school started, but I remember school specifically starting, and first people to talk to me is JR and Nate Letzinger. Didn't even know they were brothers.
Beautiful.
And I just got to DJ their sister's wedding in Kentucky, my first out-of-state wedding, and it was just awesome coming back 23 years later to that. So anyway, me not wanting to come to Cedar Rapids ended up me loving Cedar Rapids. So in the 2 years, so 6th grade year, I knew like Nate, JR, and my lunch table full of people. 7th grade, I met my boy Zaya, who introduced me to Chuck and Jarrell, who got me into music and Big Bang. So McKinley, which is next door to us, is a very special place to me. That's kind of where my life started. Wow. So between 7th grade and then 8th grade I did there, and then 9th grade I ended up going back to Chicago finally. After it was funny, I didn't realize this until now. I don't even know if I want to say it.
Dope.
But in my 8th grade year during summer, I got in one little fight. My mom got scared.
That's funny.
And she moved me to Chicago, back to Chicago with my grandma, and I lived there. But yeah, I ended up going to school in Chicago for a lot of my freshman year. Even won like the Mr. Freshman Award, which is like the really like whoever's the most popular freshman. And I was still nerdy tone, but I just communicate and network with people. So in a huge high school, somehow I still got voted most popular freshman in Chicago. But then all my friends out here wanted me to come back. So I came back to Iowa. I did 9th grade, and I just wasn't going to school to the point my mom moved next door to the school. And I went even less then.
Damn.
But I set up it's probably my second studio at the time. God, we called it like Little Ricky Records. My uncle that Yeah.
Shout out Black Ricardo's
Exactly.
album.
Yes, it gets there. That's a full circle moment.
I love that.
But yeah, my Uncle Rick, he's actually the one that taught me how to rap and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, so Lil Ricky Records, I was trying to be Lil Ricky, and then I evolved to Lil Tone and eventually Tone the Boss later after being a part of Big Bang. But when I was trying to do the Lil Ricky thing, one of the first people was JR, my friend. I just DJ'd his sister's wedding. He came to my studio in the attic, and we rap and get into all other silly stuff. And it was pretty crazy. But at that point, my roots were so planted in Cedar Rapids that I had asked my mom if I could stay with Chuck because she was dating this other guy, and I think he had actually gotten in trouble, and he wanted to move to Atlanta. And I knew the guys that saw him get into the trouble. And I'm like, because I know the story, I'm not moving because you effed up. That's BS. Like, I'm building something here. I got these friends. I didn't even want to come to Cedar Rapids, and now this is home. I asked her if I could stay, and she said, yeah. And that was like the best thing that happened in my life. And it made me so independent and so like not need anybody. But at like 14, I ended up getting my own apartment, my own car. I went from not going to school at all to graduating almost a full year early. I was in high school with a job and taking college classes. And then we probably dropped like 3 or 4 albums as a group. So that like, yeah, shout out to my mom for like trusting me and just seeing how independent, that I could be.
My mom says so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. So that was super cool. God, I think some other mess happened. I end up getting into some shenanigans out here. So my first year of college, I actually went back to Chicago, but something kept pulling me back to Cedar Rapids. Right. It's just Iowa, man. Something always pulls you back out here.
No, for real.
I was out here for college to shoot a music video, and I'm like, gotta go back to Iowa with my boys. And we'll get there, but another disaster happens.
Damn.
And I'm in an apartment. This one's a more natural caused by humans, but I ended up getting I'm in a shower at a friend's place that I'm staying at, and the place catches on fire.
Oh, shoot. What the?
Yeah, while we're writing music, and my friend's like, we got to put this fire out. I was like, you just run. You run. I'll figure it out. And I don't know why I thought I'd be a hero.
Right, what
and
the hell?
I have
Sounds
no
like
idea.
you.
Yeah. But anyway, I try to like stop the fire, and it ends up burning my hand, and then a grease fire fell directly on my foot. Burnt it all the way down to the bone, and it was
your leg looked like a turkey leg.
Yeah, shit. It was bad. I saw it like melting, like just cooking. Like it was the most excruciating pain unimaginable. I don't wish on my worst enemy. And what's crazy, yeah. Yeah, I ended up going to the hospital, and they're like, oh, you can just walk it off. I didn't have insurance or whatever.
Damn,
so I went home and like went into shock the next day from like all the pain. And then I got driven out to the University of Iowa, and they were like, oh, my God, glad you came here. We would have had to cut that thing off. Like, what?
Oh, my God.
So I ended up getting a skin graft. So I think I told Lim, so I kind of got, what we call it? I think we called it like ass foot or something. But they had to cut off some skin from like my thigh and put it onto my foot. So, yeah. So it's crazy. Yeah, super crazy. So that was one of the many disasters that happened, and it forced me in a situation where I was stuck here. I lost my job in Chicago and wasn't able to finish school in Chicago. So I was kind of stuck in Cedar Rapids, and I ended up getting my own place, getting a job, and really getting back into the music. Buttfoot. Stop. So yeah, fast forward many years later, and I think this is how we talked about Washington, Iowa, and I was like, let me get into this natural disaster stories. But many years later, actually 3 years ago, another natural disaster happens to me, destroys my home, and it's the damn derecho.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, but I feel like, and I said all that to say this, like the universe has a way of forcing you
Yeah.
to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Like we were forced out of Washington, Iowa by a tornado. We were forced out of Iowa City by a flood. We had to live in Cedar Rapids. And when I was trying to go back to Chicago, a whole fire. Like this doesn't happen to normal people. And then, you know, I had this place where I was super content at, and it wasn't me leveling up. It was just me kind of loathing and being depressed and not trying to move forward in life, honestly. And a derecho straight up took that away from me. And I've never even heard of a derecho.
Right? Like, what the hell? Like, they're kidding, right? I thought they were kidding until we saw everything go crazy.
So, yeah, I'm a big believer in, like, not only full circle, but the universe putting you where you need to be.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I've learned the very hard way that it will sit my ass down if I'm doing too much too.
That's literally what I was going to say is, like, we're so busy in our different ways, but also now, like, how we've come together. But, like, if we don't rest, it'll force us to rest.
Facts.
Like, somebody will fall in a pothole. And have to rest.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't. I sprained my ankle on my birthday, and I had a show that night, and I'm standing on chairs and pool tables. Like, I know it tries to slow me down or stop me, but I'm a big person that just works against that.
Right.
I can't stop.
Because
won't
it's
stop.
like hard to like know either is it the universe or is it the enemy?
Exactly. I like that. I like that phrasing, the enemy, because I don't want to give the name that I was taught any praise. Like,
right.
you know.
Same. Like,
So
because I don't really.
is it the enemy or is it the universe? And like, when it feels like you've done something wrong or you've neglected something, then it's probably the universe.
Yeah.
When you're just
true.
like doing good.
What you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Like, hold on. There ain't no reason this should have happened. So me spraining my ankle on my birthday, sprained my ankle, whatever the past tense of that word is. That was, I feel like that was the enemy. This pothole that I fell in where I damn near broke my leg in half. That was the universe. That was
karma.
Yeah, no, that was me off of 2 fish bowls of blue MFer that we used to do back when we lived in Atlanta forever ago. And yeah, I ain't young no more. So I'm learning that. And that's also like why I gotta kick drinking. Cause like it's so sometimes for me, like I said, my mind just races 24/7. So sometimes just winding down finally, like, and it's not like and what, like, again, this is why wasn't never mad about the pothole. You know, I'm blessed with this gift, this creativity, this work ethic.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do feel like it's a curse. And the thing that takes away the curse is just taking a sip of something
the
and
spirits.
just calming down. Like I said, I can't do weed. I'm not a pill guy. Like, none of that stuff works for me. But if I have a sip, I can calm down the creativity. I can relax, and I can still be somewhat creative. I just operating at 1,000 24/7.
For real.
It can't be good, but I know I'm here for a reason, and maybe I am supposed to be operating at 1,000 24/7.
Yeah, that's literally how I think, because I'm like, there's too much to do. Like, there's not enough time.
I can't sleep. I literally can't sleep at night because I have so many ideas, and there's so much more work to do, and so much to get done, and so many people that, like, I know that I'm blessed with the ability to communicate with, and I can just, you know, shoot a text or call or FaceTime a lot of people that are very inaccessible to everyone else, but I've worked hard enough to build that relationship and earn that. But at some point, it's like, bro, I need.
It's like I really don't understand. I'm like, if we feel like this and we're at the level that we're at, right? Some people don't even know us, right, around the world. So imagine how like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Drake, like how they feel like.
And like the people I look up to are like Kevin Hart and The Rock, and, you know, people that do have this schedule that starts at 6 a.m. But they also have people that kind of allow them to coast and drive, and, you know, they 50 Cent, you know, they've got their set times for the gym. My goal, and I still don't care. I'm gonna say this. I feel like I have to work harder than them.
Yeah.
And it is my goal. I have to work harder than these guys to get to where they're at. And even when I'm there, I'm still going to work harder than them. But like at the end of the day, that's going to be the payoff. Yeah. And if it's not me that ends up in that spot, I'm okay with it because I know I'm going to help somebody else that is going to get to that spot. And that's why I'm doing the work that I'm doing.
Dude, you know what I think that is? Okay, we're going to get a little deep.
Paul.
right here. But I think it's also trauma for the fact that we didn't grow up with enough and we learned that we had to keep working and working and working. We feel like we're like, even when we're successful, even if we're there, we're going to still have to keep working and working. But it's also because we're those people that we don't really have a limit to our success. So it feels like we can never take a break, but it's a choice because we know we can keep going and going and going instead of just like, you're right. I don't think I'd be okay with being stagnant. Like I wouldn't be satisfied with being stagnant, but who knows? We're not there yet. Like,
and like I said, it's a gift and a curse. Like it's really something where we are blessed with these abilities, these talents, and this drive, but there's not a lot of room. Like for me, I really don't have a personal life. Like my best friends are people that I'm doing music with.
No, for real. Like that's literally what I said. I told somebody, I'm like, T, what are my best friends? Like, I didn't really know anybody until I met you guys. And I remember like when we're always like, oh, you have to invite 5 people to the shows. And I'm like, I don't know nobody else.
It's just us. And I'm okay with it. I mean, the venues don't be too happy when it's just us, but
we're vibing though.
We are.
Like,
we have fun. It's worth
we
it.
feel like
I'll just pay the venue fee for us to have a good time. I don't care.
I mean, we all like chime in some way, somehow. I feel like we're like, let's shout you out. Like, you know, we all work together in a way that like, it just actually just happens because we've been having really good turnouts.
We do.
And we're like, who are these people?
And what's dope about these good turnouts is like, I don't care. Like, this, I'm a very transparent person, so I'm sorry if I disclose too much information that other people don't want out there. But like, the R&B showcase did not have the attendance or make the money that R&B nights do.
Right.
I don't care. That night, honestly, like it was as special to me as the first R&B night. Like I've never seen people just do an R&B showcase outside of like when I was just in Atlanta. Like that was something like that. But also just getting those different people in that room, giving a lot of people their first time. Like I didn't need to make a ton of money. I didn't need to make any money, and I didn't make a fraction of what I normally make. And I'm okay with that. Like it's the experience, it's the moment, it's the memories that we're able to create and what we're building. We like, I don't know if everyone knows where my head is, but we're building like an empire, like an enterprise. So this is a part of the journey. I enjoy the low number shows because we're going to be like, remember when we only had 100 people and like, look at this arena. Like I know that's coming. Yeah. So
shout out to the freaking Iowa Music Awards where we met, where it's like about to happen, my first like actual like show, and it was a freaking huge show. And like you've said on one of your podcasts that you didn't expect it to be as big as it was, and now it's like 3 times, like not even 3 times, like 5 times as big as it's gonna like it was.
Like I'll be honest, it shouldn't have been as big as it was. Like this it was. That just confirmed that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And whether I'm doing it the right way, there's a better way. Absolutely, there's better ways to do all of this stuff. There's way more promotion that can be done. A lot of people forget, and like shout out to Jay Lim because he had just told somebody the other day, like, you guys do know there's like one guy that's organized all this, that's doing all
for
that.
real. Like people told me that this year, something about the promotion, right? They're like, oh, this year's promotion's a lot better. I'm like, well, because like at least I'm here to help as well.
Yeah.
Because like you guys know that it was just Tone last year. And they're like, it was? And I'm like, yeah. So like, if it's improving, good, because that's the whole point of having a team.
Yeah. And like it's it's the team is such a blessing now, and we're gonna continue to grow, and it's going to be great because we'll find experts in certain stuff. Like I'm no social media expert whatsoever.
Me either, but
I'm sitting here, and I did go to school for graphic design, but honestly, that was not 20 years ago. It's getting close. About 15 years ago. There's so many different softwares and different algorithms than it was 15 years ago.
It's always changing. Always freaking changing. It's so frustrating. Me and you were literally talking about YouTube changing in like within a month, right?
Yep. And I'm old, man. Like I don't want to be on my phone making designs and stuff 24/7.
Right.
I do want to just spend time with my daughter and just enjoy her company and not have to meet a deadline because these people are going to be pissed off if I don't do this on time. But that's kind of the nature of the beast. So I'm definitely doing my best. And if there's people that want to see it better, step up.
Right? No,
do it.
for real. Come
Join.
Join.
Like, oh my God, he didn't do this, or he said he'd do this by this day, or like,
for
dude,
real,
show up. Show
give me a
up.
helping hand then.
Man.
Like, we've juggled so much.
Or
like,
do your own show, man. Like, I do own the copyright to Iowa Music Awards, but
you're gonna have to call it something else.
Yeah. But do your own thing, man. You don't have to participate in what I'm doing.
Keith says, yo, my mom and my sister said I can't have friends. And Lim said that you're a 10 men in one. My sister says, shout out.
Pause that.
Pause.
He said I'm 10 men in one. Big pause.
Oh! I was laughing because
the way you read it, I was thinking 10 man because the Wizard of Oz. I was like, damn, I got a little heart, don't I? I wear a lot of hats, pun intended, and
jack of all trades over here too.
Yeah, hey, I'm a master of some though. I at least mastered rap. I feel like I mastered rap. I don't care.
I love the confidence, dude. No, you've mastered a lot of things for real, and it's like. Giving that, I think, like, I love our team so much, too, because we are always, like, crediting each other. Like, I freaking love it so much. And it's like, I know nobody else would treat me as good as, like, this team treats me. So I'm glad that you found me when you did, because I'm soft.
I'd be worried, too. Like, I asked you on Thursday, like, how was that one-on-one with
I was like, it was
Derek?
amazing.
I was like, was he mean? Was he mean? You got to tell me he's mean. I'll be mean to that moment right back. But no, I'm glad it went really good, and that you have your T1 family. It's not a company, a staff. We are a family. We all have our own strengths, and we all contribute, and we show up for each other, whether it's at an actual show or if it's, hey man, I need something, or bruh, I need my hair done. I got this interview tomorrow. These hair people BSing, and I'm like, bruh, I'm on Fox News tomorrow morning. I can't just be out here.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, that hair, I did that.
Right? So we really show up, and I love that about us. And we're only gonna build, grow, and I got so much in this crazy head of mine and already in the pipeline. And it's all different stuff. Like last year after I did the Iowa Music Awards, people naturally think next is just year 2. No, next is what do I do to top this? What do I add to my portfolio? What do I add to give us all a better experience, and what skills can I learn? Never in a million years would I thought real estate would be one of them, but I've done that this year. We had the music video premiere in a movie theater. That was pretty awesome.
So dope.
We had the Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs. You came with us for that.
Yes, like
have you been to Kansas City before that?
Yeah, just like en pasada.
Passing?
Like en
pasada.
En pasada.
I like that.
I literally be speaking Spanglish because I'm like, bro, you Puerto Rican, like you gonna learn today.
But yeah. So, we had the movie theater experience in Des Moines. We had Victory Lap, the performance, and at the Super Bowl parade in Kansas City.
For real.
God,
I know. I'm trying to think of everything we've done because we've
toured.
Done so
we've been
much.
all over the state.
We have. We went to 3 states in 3 days.
Oh, the real tour.
The real
tour.
I
forgot about that. That
know,
was
right?
awesome, and that was the first time for me too.
That was
getting
so
a DJ
dope.
in Indiana, Illinois. And then we did Unimpaired, and that was just so cool. Shout out Shy Songwriter. And you had talked about these different versions of you, reincarnations and stuff. And I feel like, and me and him will talk about it later, but I feel like he's a variant of me. He's somebody that is like-minded, that works just as hard and makes as many connections. So when I cross paths with people like him or Lyrical TMG or Prince Ace, Kenyon and Ideal, like these are creatives, these are people that work their asses off, and when we connect it's almost weird, like it's not supposed to happen. Like I don't know if we can shake hands or touch each other.
Like
we might
Hancock.
one of us might disappear or something. I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? Hancock, where him and his soulmate, but they can't
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
because
crazy.
freaking magic happens.
So getting to work with those individuals in the last year, and I'll also like all the connections I got to make because of the Iowa Music Awards last year. And here's a big reason why I do this show. Like, so something that does piss me off is when people think anything that I'm doing is a cash grab. I do not make money on these events. Like,
let's talk about it.
Like these events are very much like now they're partnered with a nonprofit, but we could have called them not profit every time I do these. Like,
right.
These aren't, and this is why nobody's really stepping up to do these type of events because it's so much risk. It's so expensive. It's so much BS and relationship building, and then no matter how hard you try, somebody's always gonna complain or be unhappy.
For
so
real.
you know, with the music awards, like last year, I've wrote a business plan for like 10 years ago, but basically it equals out to about 10 grand. I don't have 10 grand. I don't have 10 grand right now. I ain't had 10 grand in a bank account. I just don't have it. But my will is stronger than my pockets, than my resources, than anything. It's just my energy and my faith.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. So you know, we make this stuff happen, and it's not. I don't look at, oh, did we break even? Did we profit? Like, no, we needed this. We needed it. I don't care. I'll figure it out.
That's literally how the glow party was.
Yeah,
disaster.
It's
a
for
freaking
us.
disaster.
Oh yeah, what happened that day?
It was the women's NBA, and it was a tornado that was coming. And we literally only had, it was like only the team and a few of our like closer friends.
Yeah.
Like our T1 acquaintances.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, that stuff happens, but like, especially the anniversary party, that's about us anyway.
Right.
Like, this is, hey, you can party with us. We don't care if you do or you don't.
We doing all good all by ourselves. But hey, come along.
We're going to turn up and have a good time. And like, you know, even the venue like normally charges what they're worth.
Right.
But we've built such a good relationship. They're like, don't even worry about it, Tone. Like, we're gonna.
They were celebrating with us. Like,
yeah, exactly. And you know that just goes to the roots of me being in this city, me being at this state, and why I always come back to Iowa because like people are Iowa nice. Like I've lived in Atlanta, Chicago, Texas. I had dreams of moving to Arizona, but Iowa is home. Like this is home.
Right. Like you said, everybody always talks about leaving Iowa. And I always thought about this too before I met you. I was just like, I always just thought like, why do you have to move somewhere when you can make it happen yourself,
Exactly.
right? And then so it's literally that, like, you don't have to go nowhere. Just because you go somewhere doesn't mean that you're gonna like make it there even, because now the competition is even harder. So why not just start something up here?
And then there's people that have their roots in those cities. Like now I'm getting cocky, I'm sorry, but I wish a mofo would come to Cedar Rapids and start doing all the Tone stuff after like it. But in another sense, I do want to be able to pass the torch. Like I am going to step away. And this is maybe an official announcement. Like I'm stepping away from like the hip hop showcases. I feel like there's enough people here that seen me do it for long enough that you guys should know how. And I'm always an open book. If you need access to a venue, if you need to meet somebody, I don't gatekeep. I'm the most anti gatekeeper you can find.
True.
So, but also it helps me. Like, hey man, I don't like how you did this. Oh, okay, here you go. Call that number, book it, pay it, and
do it better.
I'll pay you. I'll open up. And this is something I'm gonna need you to make a clip out of this.
Bet.
All these artists that hit me up to do free stuff, and then you go and do a show and we don't get invited, we don't get a free slot. Like I'm an artist before I'm a promoter or manager. I do this and been doing this. So, you know, the entitlement is one thing. Like stop entitling yourself to something free from another grown man that's working his ass off to even create this situation. But if you have an opportunity, how do you not think of the same person you asked or begged or sent a shitty text and complained to when you go and do your own event? And it may not be me that needs the performance, but I have artists that I manage. I have new artists that I'm developing that really could use these opportunities. And I got to hit you up and, oh man, it's full.
Right.
Why did I not get a call when you had an opportunity, but then you shitted on me or came at me crazy because I didn't give you an opportunity? So I need people to start thinking about that. Like it works both ways, man.
It does.
Like, and it's just crazy. Like,
no, for real. I feel like some people like, dude, we're all starting out. I think we talked about this on Silence's podcast. We're all starting out. Technically, we're all on the same level. So why have to be rude or disrespectful or feel like you above somebody else? Like, there's people, aka Tone, who technically with the whatever like actual levels of technicality, he is up there and he's being humble. So why are you not being humble or being respectful? Like, that just doesn't make sense.
And what's weird, and I like playing devil's advocate and seeing things from both perspectives. So, like, a lot of times it takes me a minute to respond because you may use shitty words towards me, but I'm deciphering those words. I am trying to see past the words, get to the emotion, get to the source, and even get to the trauma. What has led you to talk to people this way, number one, make decisions this way, and also expect results from what you just sent me that was, to me, immediately up front, just disrespectful.
Right.
So, you know, to answer, like, what entitles you to not be humble when somebody like Tone is humble, well, it is the 20 years of experience in music. It is how long I've been doing this. It is me being the disrespectful person and now knowing what that feels like on the other end. Like, it is a bit of karma, but also it's the experiences that I've had that's humbled me. I was never, at the beginning, I definitely wasn't this humble. We deserve the world day one is how we looked at it. And sometimes artists do need that confidence and that mentality to keep going and keep getting better. Once you keep saying something and repeating it, you know, and again, I'm just getting more and more into the universe, but like words are, you spell words out because words are spells. And the more you say something, the more you chant something, the more you manifest and make it a reality. So constantly saying you're the best, constantly saying you're the greatest, you have to think that way in order to be treated like that. That's how Lil Wayne became known as the best rapper alive. He kept saying it over and over until people believed it. And then he kept providing consistency and quality content to, you can't deny it.
Literally, man, we need an applause for that, boy. Because there you go to, like, you know, me and my family were very, like, analytical. We wanted to get to the root of the issue. And that's what I think is, like, what you're saying is, like, it's true. Even no matter how somebody could come at us sideways, upside down, whatever freaking. Oh, wrong one.
I love it. You just
that one. So, like, no matter how somebody could come at us, we still process it. I'm a big about processing stuff. I got to take a while to actually think about things. But, like, you know, we take a while to be like, okay, you're being disrespectful, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
and
something else is going on. I don't think anybody just wakes up disrespectful. Like,
I don't
know. Right, we got baby mamas. They ain't no way. I woke up like this disrespectful.
I woke up like this. That's how they were born. Sure, they came out the womb like that. What you mean?
Just like wham. Like, really? Like, but yeah, no, I really do. Even baby mamas, I will give the benefit of the doubt. True. Like, your life hasn't been the greatest. I might have been the greatest, but, you know, your life and other events that have happened has led to you being disrespectful, taking advantage of people, and feeling like the world belongs to you. And something to humble you. I don't care to be the thing that humbles you. I don't want to be the person that checks you and gives you your bad karma. I like still being positive. I had we're just gonna go in. I had this dude that I was giving free shows. Like, obviously some shows. So, and I need to break that down first before I get to what a paid show is, because and a lot of people, one of my favorite episodes of Talking Top Tier is the one with Bo James, but he's like, there's no such thing as pay for play. It is investing in yourself.
Ooh.
And it really is. And, like, what pisses me off is, like, I invested so much. I paid for so many shows where you don't get tickets, you don't get promotion, you just get your 15 minutes on stage, and that was enough for me. Now I'm like, I can't do artists like that. I give them tickets. I give them promo. I give them personal flyers. I give
Y'all
them interviews.
spoiled.
That ass. So I give you guys all this. So when I am, and then I also make sure almost everyone I work with gets at least 1 or 2 free shows, probably a year, not just like total.
No,
but I
that's
give a lot of
true.
people a lot of free opportunities. But when it comes to a paid event, it irks me so much. I can't even use the words. If you complain that you paid for a slot when I've given you double the amount of tickets, I've given you a source of income. I've given you and
you just gotta work, but sometimes they don't want to work.
And a lot of these hip hop artists make music about selling drugs. All right, cool. This is a drug game. I'm gonna give you all these tickets for half the price. You sell them. You should be doubling up your money, what you invested to buy it, and then you should be hitting me to re-up.
That should sound familiar.
But instead, you're selling 1 or 2, and not even selling. You're giving 2 tickets away, and then you're looking at me like, oh, man, where's my pay? Or, man, I'm paying for play. No, you're not. You invested in yourself, and you didn't put in work. You didn't promote it. You didn't share the event. You didn't make your own event. You didn't message or text people. You just look at the promoter like, where's all the people?
Right,
well, all my people are here, and they are here. And I sold tickets as well. And you didn't try. What are you entitled to if you didn't try?
Right.
You didn't put anything forth. I'm talented. Yeah, a lot of people are. Everybody in the room is talented. Whether it's music or something, they have a talent. That doesn't pay bills if you don't put in the work behind your talent.
Right. That's literally what I seen somewhere. And I also talked about it on Silence's podcast too, is like, you got to be the best. The best doesn't mean that you were talented. It means that you put in your best work. You put in your best performance. You do the best business wise, and you got to like everything all together. It's not just about being talented. Look at Blueface.
Trash.
Look at a lot of people that are famous. They're not the best, but what are they doing?
But even Blueface, I respect.
Exactly.
He puts in the effort.
Exactly.
He has his entire shitty life on display for the world to judge.
Exactly.
But he knows it's marketing.
Yeah.
He comes to Iowa now, he'll sell out, and it'll be the same people like me. I'd probably be there. I'll probably be there calling this dude trash. Why am I here?
Because I'm gonna get a trashy interview.
Yep. Like we gonna work with his trash ass. But it's just being consistent and putting in the work. You can't just be an artist no more. Like Lim said, I have 10 men in me. Pause. I wear a lot of hats. And you have to wear more than a hat of a rapper. You can't just wear your rapper hat. Show up when you want to.
Keezy
don't need to
said,
sell tickets. Don't need to promote. You have to do all these things. This is a business. You're a brand. And it doesn't even need to be just rap. Even you, Chapis, you do these interviews. You're T1 Press. Like you still even just being well, that's not even an even, but it's like being T1 Press is 10 hats.
Yeah.
On top of everything else that you're doing.
Right.
Like there's so much work that you do.
That's the T1 Press is what I do that you guys see. Not everything else. Hair.
Yeah.
You
counting.
know?
We ain't gonna say what you counting, but you counted.
Something.
Yeah.
Counting
so
toes, count fingers. I needed to count everybody's toes.
So there's a lot. There's just a lot that goes into being a creative that I don't think people understand. And my job is to show people. I just went to an Atlanta conference. We probably paid like $2,000 each to be at this conference just to soak up knowledge to come back here and give back to artists and our creatives and our staff and the people that are willing and want to learn. This is an investment that not only is a financial investment, but I am taking time away from my family to do this so I can learn something to teach artists that still in turn Tone don't give back or Tone all about money. And it's like, dude, the same people, everybody. And what's wild is like everybody that's paid me for something usually comes back and pays me again. Everybody that I give something for free has all complained after the free thing. Because my job, and I know it's unrealistic, but my goal is every experience you have with Tone, I want it to be a good one. Yes. I know it's not a realistic expectation, and people say you need to stop thinking like that, but I want everybody that walks in a room at one of my shows to be having a good time. I want to shake their hand. I want to say what's going on. I want to, damn, that's going on in life. All right, well, this is what I did to resolve that, and let's have a drink. Like, I want to laugh, I want to smile, and I want to create an escape for people that are dealing with real life stuff. And then for the artist that's performing, I want them to feel like the superstars that they look up to. I want to create that memory, that moment that they saw Lil Wayne do on TV, or you know, whoever else is their favorite artist. They saw that. I want them to feel like that every time they do a show or something with me. But in order to get there, we all got to put in the work, and we got to be respectful.
Let me tell you, full circle, because that's how people feel, Tone. You are literally living that goal. Like, because I'm the one that gets to interact. Tone don't really got time when he's DJing. Like, and it's not in a rude way. You know, he's working, he's focused. Like, you have to go either up to him to say hi, or, you know, the people that, you know, go with their songs. But honestly, too, Tone doesn't like to have people on his shoulder when he's working.
Let me explain why. And I need a clip out of this. Let me explain why I can't have people on the stage with me or interacting while I'm DJing. So I've had not only artists, but also venues complain that it looks unorganized and unprofessional. The stage should be a privilege. So when the artist comes on the stage and there's 5 other people that aren't even paying attention to the artist, it not only looks disrespectful, but to the audience, it looks like anybody can be on that stage.
That's true. And it's happened. It's happened. We've had like just people being so mad because we're like, oh, sorry, like only T1 could be on the stage, but we're a lot now. And people got on the stage and they were disrespectful.
Even with T1, I was like, all right, I got to chill with having even T1 on the stage because you're not performing, and then also it looks better for them to see you in the crowd. They sing forward.
If we're interactive.
Yeah. So that's a public announcement, because I did just actually receive some feedback about not looking as organized, because there's always 2 or 3 people that are standing next to me on stage. But at the same time, my time is so limited. It was working for me. I can have a whole business meeting while DJing, while somebody's performing.
Like, remember that one day we need to
But we're always looking to improve and be better and look better and increase our presence. So that is a public service announcement. Like, can we not, even staff, like, can we not be on the stage if you're not DJing or performing? I guess I got to be lonely. You can text me.
You can text me.
I'll come down. I'll find time to interact. And I've been working with a lot of other DJs. Shout out DJ Benja. Maybe, all right, cool. I see Big Estates in the crowd and I haven't seen him in like a year. All right, Benja, I need you to play the next 3 songs. I already got him queued up. Let me chop it up with him real quick. Oh, this artist just drove from Des Moines to be here. Let me just go do a shot with him real quick. Chapis, you know how to play this left and right. Tevin's learning the board. So, like, that's the way that we have to do it. But we've got to make it consistent, professional, and honor the stage.
That's also the thing. If he doesn't do that, don't get mad at him. That's also why I'm here for. You could come connect with me. I'll let him know. And then you guys could have like a certain, email or DMs transfer too, because it's getting crazy out here. That's one thing I wanted to tell you. Like, don't always feel obligated, because that's also what I'm here for. I'm here interacting with people, and that's also how I know that you are making them feel like a celebrity. Like,
I hope so. And you're doing that too. I need to praise you a lot more, because what you do, and I need to publicly praise you. What you do is so important, and it's elevated the company so much in just this last year of knowing you, to making us feel like heads up, I'm gonna cry. But you made us from like just people that work hard to people that have the look, the feel, and everybody's important. And that's been a goal of my entire life, to make everybody I interact with feel important. And what you do does that. When you sit there and interview them and they get to talk about what they have going on and the hard work they put in and finally put it on display, and you come in so excited, hey guys.
Yes, I am. Like, I just feel so happy. Like, even though a lot of these people have become my friends, I'm also fangirling low-key. Like, oh my gosh, that's my friend.
Oh, and your energy is infectious. Your positivity. And
in a good way, I hope. Not like COVID, no.
No, and like there's people that's been scared of your positive energy. She's so positive, something's on. Yeah, I mean she does have a real life. She goes through real life shit like you, but like
maybe even worse. My life be a movie, man.
Yeah, and like dead ass, you be going through some shit, and you still bring your best face, your A game, and you make other people feel good, and you give that positive energy. So like one thing that I will beg of you right now publicly is you never lose your smile, never lose your energy, never lose your positivity. Please don't change for anybody. I don't care if I change, if everybody on the team changes. Stay Chapis.
But I don't think, I honestly believe it in my soul because people tell you this too, like, because I be editing the podcast, right? So, like, people tell you this too, and I literally, like, 100% feel like I don't think we ever will because we have it such in our soul. Like,
I'm getting old and bitter. I'm not gonna lie, and like
you're gonna be that grumpy old man.
Yeah, and it's happening, and it's because like, and I've told people, like I said, I'm like formally or professionally announcing I'm stepping away from hip hop showcases, and it's not because I've been unappreciated. I've been unappreciated since I started this company. I don't care. I do have a lot going on. Didn't care about that. I do have a family. I do care about that. But because I was on a streak of like what I don't care. I was
right. Let me put that out there.
But I can be unappreciated. I'm not going to be disrespected. I've got a lot of people that are being disrespectful about getting something for free from me, getting me to pay for them to do something, getting me to pay them, or you didn't give me enough. You gave me 5 songs, although you told me it's 3 songs, and I wanted 6 songs. Nobody, I have 6 great songs, I promise you, and I can entertain. I'm not gonna do 6 songs in a row. Because it's disrespectful to the audience, it's disrespectful to the other artists, and not everybody knows every song. I do feel like that if you're at one of my shows, you probably know 4 or 5 of my songs, and maybe it's interesting to introduce one new song. But these artists are performing for a crowd. Again, number one, you didn't bring because you didn't sell tickets. We don't know your music, and you're asking to do 4 or 5 songs that we don't know.
Yeah, because you also got to think about, like, in the content world over here, right? When you're interacting in a show, it's still content, even though it's not technically on social media. So you got to think about gravitating the audience, and you got to think about keeping them. Some people, what I have seen, which was really cool, and I'm pretty sure Boo Kilo does this, he'll do bits and pieces of his songs, and we'll do those 5 songs, but in that time length to keep the crowd interactive, just like a DJ.
Songwriter is amazing at doing that. He will give you a song you've never heard of. He'll make sure that it's a chorus that'll catch on to you, and he may stop it and do it again based on the crowd's interaction. He's looking at the audience, and he's seeing they're rocking with it. They're not rocking with it. Let's go on to the next one. Like me getting a DJ that tour showed me, I learned so much from him with just being myself, but with him being an artist, like I just picked up on that. Like, okay, this is a catchy hook, and they were rocking with it. Okay, we went to Indiana, and he didn't have me repeat that like he did that one, but we'd only have this many people this time versus how many we did at the arena we were at or whatever. So that's something all the artists that I'm sure I'll do something. It just won't be a regular hip hop showcase like I used to do. I'm sure I'll do something. I'm not going to say I'm never going to do anything again.
I think it's perfectly fine because there's so much people that have like followed your footsteps. Like your legacy that you've like been wanting, it's literally in action.
People are saying I can do this too, and it's like thank you because
you're not offended at all.
No, please do. I was selling. I had an interview with 319's Finest. Like, dude, I'd love for you guys to take over Summer Jam. Like, and then even the people that not them, but like other people that think it's a cash grab. Cool, take that cash and do right. Whatever cash you think I'm making, take it. Do this show to the same level. Book these artists. Get everything printed, get everything set up the way it's supposed to be and promote it right.
Right.
And then tell me how much money you made. Tell me that you're a millionaire.
Right.
And then cool, it was meant for you to be a millionaire. I'll tell you, it's not meant for me. It's not meant for me to profit off of this, but I give my all. And I love what I do. But like I said, I'm okay with being unappreciated. I'm not gonna stand for disrespect.
It's a different type of profit though. And I see it because we're not very monetary. Is that the right word?
It is.
You know, is.
The biggest currency right now for me is time.
Yeah.
That time is worth so much more than money, and that's time with my friends, time with obviously my family, my staff, and the things that I'm working for, which is building a legacy. So money is not. I do a lot of free stuff, a lot, and I also I invest a lot. But like wasting my time or demanding more of my time than what I have, or
because it's personal. The time is literally personal, so it's a lot. Like that's actually one of my love languages. Yeah. Like if somebody, even this conversation, just like even familiar friendship conversations, a text, that's you taking time out of your day for me.
Yep.
Feel appreciated by that. But like you said, some people demand it more than anything.
Yeah. Or I like a couple things. I hate question marks. If you send me a question mark, it irks my soul.
Really? Like even after a sentence?
Yeah. No, not after a sentence.
By itself. Yeah.
If you question mark a text message because I didn't respond in the time frame that was appropriate to you. I have a whole lot going on.
For real.
And then maybe I even left you on red. I'm going to get to it. I have too much ADHD. Like I can't have unopened text. I have to respond to everything. But give me my time. One of the people I admire that a lot of people hate right now is Kanye West. Yay, as if you may. But like I watched an interview of his where they tried to rush an answer out of him, and they're like, "Just never mind, we'll move on." He's like, "No, we're not gonna Jimmy Kimmel this situation. Give me time to think. Let me give you the answer that's right for me, not just the right answer that popped in my head right away."
Hey, I love that because that's literally how I am too. Like I literally told Silences the other day. I was like, I might seem ditzy sometimes or I might seem slow, but it's because I'm processing. Yeah. Because like you said, I want to have the right answer or the answer that I actually feel rather than just my instinct or my first reaction.
So and it's funny because I recently failed a real estate test, and like there's a lot of reasons that go into it, but like I retain information pretty well, except like names. I'm really bad with names, but anyway, I retain other information.
There's only 1 billion people in the world.
Really well. So I failed this real estate by 4 questions, like over the limit. And honestly, I missed like 2 days of the class that you're not supposed to miss. But I came in there knowing I was gonna pass and super confident, but I'm not the best test taker because like I will read something 8 times over and overthink everything.
Yeah, same. Math. That's why I'm not good at it.
I'm great at math, though. I'm really confident in math, and I didn't miss any of my math questions on this. But it's one of those situations where it's like I don't want to give you the answer you want. I want to give you the answer that I feel is the right answer.
I agree.
At some point in my life, that changed because at the beginning, it's what do they want to hear? Let me tell them that, and now it's. Let me tell you what's really going on.
It's knowing your truest, authentic self, I feel like. And that's why I like to process things too, because I'm like, wait a second, I don't really know how I feel yet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Let me take that information in. Let it swarm around for a little bit.
Let me digest it.
Yeah, let me digest it. Let me get all the feels and go through all the motions and then give you the best answer I can on whether I can do this for you, whether I agree with you or whether this is something that I'm interested in. Because if I just tell you, because it sounded great and you had a great pitch, and then we get there and I'm like, I can't do this. I knew I couldn't do this. Why did I say yes to this?
Yeah, like committing to it.
Yeah.
Going to that, another full circle, right? So I met you, we had a meeting, and then we had the podcast, and then we had IMAs. So now I'm having my own podcast, and you know how long I've been wanting to do a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, you're like, why don't you do it already? And I'm like, cause I need to wait. I need to make sure all my like ducks are in a row. Right. Yeah, and like I need to make sure I could commit to this, because if I'm doing it, I want to do it for real. Just like what you're saying, like you need that time to process, and it's okay. Yep. And like that's where like Tom was talking about, like I don't really want to have to answer to anybody. Also, why it's crazy that I got into T1. I wanted to always just be like, I mean, I am independent, but like I always wanted to just be my own brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm never going to go under nobody, da, da, da,
Yeah.
da, da. And you artists know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of artists. And then I found T1, and then I met everybody else. I'm like, I still feel like my own brand.
Oh,
but we're
yeah.
just
So here's what I love about that, because like you're very dominant and not submissive. You don't like being
R&B
told
song?
what to do. And but you were willing to be a part of T1. You were willing to,
Yeah.
okay, we're just T1. And I had to bring you back in and say, no, we're our own brands and we're partners. I had to have a whole meeting seminar saying I'm Tone the boss, but you're Chapis the boss. This is Classic the
we
boss.
did.
Like you all are coming. We're coming together. It's the Avengers. It's the Megazords, Voltron. It's everybody connecting, but separate. We carry ourselves. I still want everybody to do things separately, and there's a few explanations behind that. One of the biggest motivators for me is like I want to help build your brand. I want you to be able to look back and be like, Tone helped me get here, or Tone taught me this and all that,
Hell
or
yeah.
teach your kids and grandkids that stuff. So that's my selfish personal reasons behind it.
But it's not even like, we've talked about this before too. I'm like, our selfish reasons aren't selfish.
Right. Deadass. Like it's still to help other people. And then like other reasons is like, well, I'm not a record label. Like this might need to be a clip too. Like I'm not a record label. And part of the reason I don't call myself that is because I feel like a record label should pay you. With T1, like I offer services that I either charge for, or we can do an exchange of services for me to provide those said services to you. So with that being said, it's like I can't hire you. There's no hourly or salary. You get in what you put into it. You can make money at a T1 event that I don't need to see, touch, or anything. Like for instance, you specifically, you can charge for your highlight reels, your videos, you could charge for interviews, or you could get motivated with me merch and offer that to people. I don't want $1 from that. I want you to hustle. I want you to find your way. But at the same time, I can't pay you for, all right, you're going to pop here and you're going to do interviews. That's awesome. We need that. I can't pay you in that, but I'm going to introduce you to these guys at Soundbox, and maybe they'll let you work for a podcast, or I'll get you on this radio station, or I'll interview you here and we can do this. Like we're going to find a way to work with each other, to elevate each other. But it doesn't always need to be monetary.
And that stuff is priceless to me.
Thank you.
That's literally like why I fit so well in like, our colleagues as well, because it's like, there's certain things that are priceless for the fact that now I don't gotta pay for freaking making a podcast. Shout out to the Soundbox Studio. Like there's certain things that we just get educated on together. Like what you said about you go to certain conferences and stuff. Yeah. I'm also retaining questions. I'm also retaining information, and what do? We share it so that we can all come up together. Before I got into T1, my brand is get motivated with me, because not only am I gonna come up, we're all gonna come up.
Exactly. And I love that, and that's what this is about. That's what T1 is. It's a collection of people that have we don't even need to have similar goals, but coincidentally and luckily enough we do.
Happens.
But it's just a collection of individuals that are talented, that may need somebody also telling them here and there, hey, you are talented. Hey, you are good. Hey, great job.
Right.
Otherwise, people are like afraid to tell you you're doing good. People are afraid to acknowledge you. People are afraid to motivate you because ego, or they're scared that you're ahead of them and they don't want you to feel above them. And I don't feel above anybody. I'm not. Right. I don't care what accomplishments I have or whatever. Like, just
don't come at me sideways, depending on the accolades.
Facts,
okay?
facts. And I will say that. I was about to say, let me not put my foot in my mouth, because baby mama was like, oh, you're just a rapper. I'm like, wait a minute. What other rappers you know? What other rappers you know is on the WNBA, NBA, and NFL? I'm just going to put that out there. It's not me bragging.
And on the news.
But like, consistently, like, don't, you're just a rapper. Like, no, I make my living off of music.
Right.
And I've done some things that I definitely in my head knew was impossible. And if I've done that for myself, all I want to do is give impossible moments to any and everybody I work with. Let's
right.
do the impossible together.
Right. And I think honestly, like with when we were promoting like who, you know, like when we realized like, okay, damn, we need more hands, right? We need more like
Are
helping
you the one?
hands.
Yes! You one of them ones?
And so I did a video because I was like, wait, some people might think that we're hiring. And so that's why I did the video to like kind of explain like we're wanting people on the team who think like us, who have the same energy like us, and that are just willing to literally be your own entity. And with that, it's going to help everybody evolve. If you don't want to, then okay, like you go
be your own entity and bring good energy.
Yes,
that's
literally.
what we're all about. We're still looking for them ones. And I had so many one-on-ones and sit downs.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's cool. And I love talking about people's dreams and everything. And this might be a good closing on it because the end of the day, it's what I started this episode with, and it's full circle. Just show up. Just show up.
Yes, show up and show out. I don't know about just show up, but show out too.
I just need you to show up. I will help you show out. Maybe you show up, but you're shy. Cool. We're going to work you in. I'm going to make you comfortable. Like, I'm going to introduce you to people. I'm going to talk to you and say, all right, what's this? Why are you so reserved? Is there something else going on that I can help you with? Or maybe you don't want to talk about any of that. Oh, okay. I understand. Just enjoy the music. Oh, do you like to drink? Here's a drink. Oh, you need somebody that smokes? I don't smoke, but I know somebody that do. Like, we can get there, but I can't help you do anything if you don't even show up. I don't even want you to text me your goals anymore. I just want you to show up and tell me and show me these are your goals and show me that you're serious and chase me outside of unimpaired while walking to the car and give me your business card and I will promise you I will change your life for the better. You will live your dreams and we're going to work together and you will have a team and a family that loves and supports you unconditionally.
Facts. Freaking yes, because our friend anniversary, I was like, you've done so much. I'm cheesy like that. I be doing the friend anniversaries, right? Because I'm like, one of my love languages is words of affirmation. So I'm like, it's like you said, gotta love, spread love. Come here, show up, show out, chopping it with Chapis and Tone. Let's get it.
Let's go.
If you're offended, I'm sorry, but not really.
What?